Hi, it's Colin Coward. I started The Volume to bring you some of the most authentic voices in sports. While you're here, make sure you hit subscribe. Thanks.
Aaron Rodgers. I watched the Pat McAfee thing, and listen, me and him don't have much in common. And listen, there are things like there's Tony Robbins manifest stuff that I think about. I don't actively like try to put it in my life all the time. I've never gone on more than like a couple day cleanse would be strong, but just a fast. And really, I can fast for like a day and then I get too hungry. What that thing that he did, that 13-day cleanse, I honestly give him respect for doing that because I wouldn't make it past like day 2. And I think most people listening, no matter what you think of it, could not even begin to remotely get close to accomplishing that. Now, I would say most of us would have no desire to do that, but like he's a different cat. He's a little out there. But you know what? Some of the greats at whatever their individual profession are a little weird. Hell, even Tom Brady. Remember when everyone was giving him shit for pliability and eating avocado ice cream and tomatoes and drinking water would help you not get sunburned? He said all those things. He believes those things. I have the TB12 book in my living room. When you open it up, it's what he talks about. Elon Musk, who I love, is pretty out there. He's a different cat. We've all followed Kanye. You watch the Kanye doc? I haven't yet, but I actually might do that in the next couple days. Kanye's out there. Like some people that are really talented, when you're not that talented at stuff and you're out there, we just think you're a whack job. Like ultimately, Aaron Rodgers is a $40 million 4-time MVP. Ultimately, Kanye sling a lot of albums. He just $200 an album. He sold like what was it, like 2,000 or whatever. I mean, he made millions of dollars on his album. Elon Musk, I mean, dude's crazy. But so what? You know, sometimes I'm not normal. How many people listening do you think, are you normal? What the hell is normal? But the thing when you're a quarterback, the only thing that matters, regardless whether you do 13-day cleanses, whether you're like John Elway and you slam Corona Lights, you know, whether you're Brett Favre and you're just kind of a screw-around hick from Mississippi. Do you get along with your teammates? Do the guys in the locker room like you? That is really what matters. And say what you want, and I give Rodgers credit on this, the guys in that locker room like him. Now, is he a drama queen? Of course he is. Like, him and Russell Wilson have become very drama-centric. And whether that's ego, whether that's narcissism, because my one pushback, and I'm not big into Buddhism, but like, hey, Aaron, and I know he's big into the Buddhists. Do the Buddhists want you posting all this on social media? Are Buddhists big into like public stuff on social media? Because I didn't think they were. But listen, I mean, you can make up. We all are hypocrites in some way, some form or fashion. I actually think the Green Bay Packers have a pretty good chance to retain Aaron Rodgers. And I watched Brian Gutekunst. I've been sick, so I haven't really been able to sleep. I mean, the last couple nights, I've woken up at midnight and laid there till about 4 a.m. Watched TV, watched YouTubes. I mean, it's been a weird couple days for me. And last night, about 2:30 in the morning, I'm just sitting there wide awake. And I watched Brian Gutekunst. I didn't watch the whole thing just because I don't care about everything that's going on with the Green Bay Packers. But I was skipping around. And you know, if where Colin was right, where Colin was wrong, I said when this happened over last summer, it was going to be very, very difficult for Brian Gutekunst because they don't teach you in scout school how to manage people, that you either have that or you don't. They don't teach you how to deal with people that are not like you. And listen, I like people not being like me. I like people to be different. You know, social media wants everyone to be the same. It's why I hate the media. They're all, especially the sports media, 95% of them all say, do, and think the same way. To me, that's fucking boring. When you get predictable, I'm out. It's like, I want predictability maybe with like my income streams, but like with the people I associate with, like I like some curveballs. I like things to keep me on my toes. Like, I don't want to I get bored fast. And so dealing with unpredictability can be very, very difficult. And I didn't think I don't know the guy, but I thought it was going to be very difficult for Gutekunst to handle the situation, just like it would be for any young GM to handle the situation. But he deserves a standing applause if you're a Green Bay Packer fan. One, he gets a lot of credit for hiring the coach who Aaron Rodgers clearly loves. if Aaron Rodgers does stay and doesn't ask for a trade, a big reason he'd be doing that is because of Matt LaFleur. And the other thing, Rodgers said this on McAfee's show. He said this on his MVP speech. And Gutekunst was like, yeah, we've done a lot to, quote-unquote, improve our relationship. We've spent a lot of times talking. Because let's face it, relationships, whether they're personal or they're professional, if you care about that relationship, it takes some work. And sometimes we all can live in our own little bubble and not realize the way other people are thinking. And Gutekunst was forced into it, but once he was forced into it, some people might have screwed that up. And not only did he not screw it up, he put Aaron in a position, the team in a position with everything he did around him. And Aaron's very happy with him right now. So it's going to come down to money and maybe just the drama of Aaron likes this. But I give a lot of credit to Gutekunst for figuring this situation out. And I think everyone's, Aaron's easy to make fun of when you start talking about 13-day cleanse and puking and, eating dinner with the Buddhists. You know why? Because most people don't do that. And listen, that's not my cup of tea. You won't find me, and I would imagine many people listening to this, eating with Buddhists. But Aaron's into that. Some people are just into different things. And honestly, that makes, this country kind of cool. Not everyone has to think the same. Another big guy that's just a little bit of a drama queen. I know he changed his Instagram and put a picture of him, I think, when he was in high school. He's from the Virginia area, is Russell Wilson. And unlike Aaron Rodgers, that kind of laid it all on the table, was like, we got to figure it out this year or I'm gone. I'm going to demand a trade. I'm going to go. Like, we all kind of know where Aaron's going. He's either going to say, I'm coming back to Green Bay or you guys have to trade me. And even when you watch Gutekunst talk, like, if he demands a trade, they're going to trade him. They would be kind of screwed because Jordan Love's not that good. They'd have to get another quarterback, but that's the situation they're in. This other guy is obsessed. Like, here's the one thing I'd give Aaron Rodgers. At this point in time, he's not really obsessed with his image. I mean, he's talking about some pretty outrageous things. And I'm not talking about the COVID stuff. Honestly, it didn't bother me at all like it did the media. They're like, oh, my God. It's like, yeah, whatever. But I'm more talking about the stuff that he just told McAfee. Even Pat McAfee's face when he told him about eating dinner with the Buddhists and the cleanse. I mean, it was just, he gave a reaction like we all would have. It was hard to comprehend. But Russell Wilson is obsessed with being liked. All he cares about is his personal image. Honestly, I know Colin loves him. Fraud's the wrong word. I just think he's like a caricature. Like, I don't even know if he's a real human. I often think this about politicians. Like, are they even real humans? When the camera goes off and they just go home and they're sitting there with their wife or like their brother, do they go, God, I'm fooling these fucking idiots. These guys don't have any clue coming. Or do they stay in character? Because if they stay in character, that's insane. Like, are you guys different species than us? Like, does Russell talk like that 24/7, 365? But if Russell wants to get traded, and it's kind of out there, he's going to have to demand a trade. Because under no circumstances are John Schneider and Pete Carroll going to just randomly trade Russell Wilson. That is not going to happen. John Schneider is not going to trade the best draft pick he's ever made, the best player in the history of the franchise, just because he can get some picks back. Picks don't mean anything when you trade your starting quarterback who's a Pro Bowl level guy. Now, if Russell has the stones, if he has the balls to not worry about the massaging his social media image, if he tweeted out or just, put out a statement through Seattle, like, I want to get traded, or went through Schefter, or went through Rap Sheet, Russell Wilson has told the Seahawks he's demanding a trade, then yeah, he could put their feet to the fire. He can make things uncomfortable. But is he going to do that? Because last year he wanted to do it, but he didn't have the stones to do it. He kind of dipped his foot into the shallow end. He's like, well, I don't really want to go, but if they were going to get rid of me, they could trade me to these 4 places. Like, who talks like that? Like, just say you want to trade or say you want to stay. And he played this political standpoint all season long on all these topics. And I think it's going to be the same thing. It's just going to be kind of cloudy. It's not going to be black and white. It's going to be in this gray area. It's like, yeah, I kind of want to stay, but I'll see what they do. Then maybe I'll push it. And that, at least, say this for Aaron Rodgers, at least he's been pretty direct. Last year, he's like, I want more input. Boom, got more input. This year, it's like, I'm going to tell you if I'm going to stay or go. Russell's, as we used to say in the radio business, sitting on the fence. Pick a side. You're 32, 33 years old. If you want to stay, they'll go all in on you. If you want to force your way out, go force your way out. Because you can. Ultimately, these NFL quarterbacks are kind of like NBA players. If Russell Wilson told John Schneider and Pete Carroll, and he never would because his image, I'm never going to play another down for this franchise. I'm never going to play another down. They would trade him. Because think of what they get. They get like Jalen Hurts and 4 ones and just kind of reset their franchise. Now, they don't want to do that, and I don't blame them. If I was them, I wouldn't want to do that either. But if he ultimately wants to go, I'm just tired of talking about Russell Wilson's trade potential. He has to ask for a trade. And when he truly does, then we can talk about it. But until he does, we're just going to talk about, he's the ultimate hypothetical.